Hello students, I am Dr. Shrikant Bavse, Assistant Professor at Department of Advanced Management Studies, GS College of Commerce, Wardha. In the earlier videos, we have seen the risk associated with the portfolio. We have also seen the factors responsible for risk and the exposure. Today, in this video, we are going to study how that risk is measured. We have also discussed in the previous videos regarding the standard deviation, variance and covariance. All these concepts are used for seeing the risk associated with a stock as well as with the portfolio. Today we are going to directly study that how the risk is measured. Risk is nothing but an uncertainty. This uncertainty arises because of the volatility, and this volatility is measured by the concept which is called as the beta. So beta is a Greek word. This is the Greek symbol of beta. By using the calculation of beta, we can ascertain that how much is the volatility in a particular stock with respect to the market. Here, the beta can be interpreted with its few forms, and this all will be discussed in this video. So what is beta? Beta is measurement of volatility of returns relative to the entire market. We have seen many a times that the market yields huge returns, but our stock do not yield us that much amount of return. On the contrary of this, many a times it happens that market remains stagnant and flat, and our stock outperforms the market by giving great returns. In some cases, we also see that market nosedives, market goes down, and few stocks goes up. So how all these kind of situations arise and how the risk is measured with respect to such stocks, we will study here. So beta is the measure of risk. How much risk is associated with the stock is calculated by using the beta, and it is an integral part of CAPM, which is called as the one of the most widely accepted theory, that is capital asset pricing model. This is most widely accepted, most reputed theory of modern finance. Here high beta means high risk plus high return. As we simply say that high risk, high return, it is concluded on the basis of beta. If the beta associated with a stock is high, at that time that stock will be high risk stock, and that stock will give you high return. But this is not necessary, but it confirms that the volatility of a stock with respect to the entire market is high. Here we can say that if market goes up, that stock will also goes up like anything, because that stock is having a high beta. But on the same line, if market goes down, that stock will also goes down more than the market. So high beta high risk, high return. Return may also be high and risk may also be high. Then low beta. When we are talking about the low beta, the risk associated is low, and as we say that low risk is equal to low return. Sometimes we see that the market is going up, but few stocks are not going up that much because those stocks are having low beta. Even if the market goes down, these stocks will not go down very exponentially. So, these will be low risk stock, but they will yield you low return. Next one is the interpretation of beta. Remember, beta is equal to 1 and this is the ideal beta. Means if the beta of any stock is 1, it means if market goes up, that stock will go up. If market goes down, that stock will also go down. So ideal beta is 1. Its interpretation is exactly as volatile as market. Suppose market is going up by 1%, your stock will also go up by 1%. If market goes down by 1%, your stock will also go down by 1% because the beta of your stock is 1 and which is called as the ideal beta. The second interpretation, beta greater than 1. So, if the beta is greater than 1, at that time it will be more volatile than market. Suppose you bought a banking stock. Banking stocks are always interest rate sensitive stocks. Any adverse announcement by government, any adverse condition in the economy may lead to crisis in the banking sector stocks. Even a small news of interest rate will generate a huge volatility into banking sector stocks. If you are holding a banking sector stock and if there are any news flashes on the screen of business channel, that stock will become very volatile. So the risk associated with that stock will be very high because the beta is greater than 1. If market goes up by 100 points, it will go up greatly, but if market goes down 100 points, it will also fall exponentially. So this is the significance of beta greater than 1. The third situation is beta less than 1 but greater than 0. I am repeating again, beta less than 1 but greater than 0. This such stock will be less volatile than the market. Even if market goes up say 500 points or 1000 points, this stock will not go that much up. It will be up but will not give you that much great returns. Even if the market goes 500 points down, 1000 points down, at that time the stock will not go down exponentially. It will be down but not more than 1 or 2%. So this will be less volatile than the market. Imagine that you are holding a stock which is blue chip, which is very stable stock. At that time its beta will be less than 1 but greater than 0. The next example is beta is equal to 0, means it doesn't mean that the risk is 0, but when the beta is 0, it is uncorrelated to the market. Many a times it will happen that market will go down but stock will remain as it is. Market will go up but stock will remain as it is because it is uncorrelated to the market. The next probability is beta is less than 0. It is negatively correlated to the market. This is very interesting thing. It is negatively correlated to the market. When market will go down, at that time the stock will go up. When the market go up, at that time stock will go down or will remain as it is. How this can happen? Before few years, it was a scenario that the stock of Hindustan Unilever HUL, the stock of FMCG companies Dabur, Marico, Imami, Godrej Consumer, all are the FMCG stocks. Few years ago, when market used to go down, this stock used to outperform. Why? Because people used to shift from aggressive rate sensitive stocks to the defensive FMCG stocks. So this is the example of negative correlation, beta less than 0. When market used to go up, at that time these stocks used to remain as it is or even go down because people used to shift from defensives to the aggressives because market is booming. These stocks do not perform great in booming market. These stocks perform good in downward market because these are negatively correlated to the market. You also take an example of pharma companies. Whenever there is a free fall into the broader indices, the pharma company will remain as it is or even outperform because they are termed as defensive stocks, conservative stocks. And FMCG companies, pharma companies do not have to do anything with the economy. No matter whether there is a war, no matter whether there is a pandemic, the FMCG companies and the pharmaceutical companies will always perform well. So their beta will be less than 0, we can say, but this is practically not possible. Their beta might be somewhere around 1 because today's market is extremely volatile. We also have seen that the markets are efficient and the participation of retail and the participation of institutional investors is very high. So every time their anticipations will be different. So these are the all 5 significances of interpretation of beta. The next is high beta is equal to more risk but high return. But we have also need to think that when there is a high beta, they are yielding high return, but in case of huge downfall in the market, this stock goes down exponentially because the more risk is associated with the high beta stock. Suppose you are talking about the impact of COVID-19 on automobile sector. When you will see that impact in the month of April, May, we have seen that the sales of automobile company was almost 0 due to nationwide lockdown. So the stocks of automobile company went down more than 50%. But as soon as market started recovering, this stock also started outperforming the market. High beta, more risk and high return. Next one is the low beta, less risk but less return than the market. When the beta of stock is very less, at that time it will give you low return because of the less risk associated with it. Suppose you are investing into the FMCG company, that FMCG company will give you consistent positive returns, but that returns will be very low. Next one is the negative beta, that is they have negative return when market is positive and vice versa. When market is positive, these stocks are giving negative returns. When market is negative, these stocks are giving positive return. Next, very important thing, that the formula of beta, the simple formula of beta is covariance divided by variance. When we will divide covariance with the variance, we will get the beta. Now what is covariance? We have already discussed the covariance and variance in earlier videos. How two stocks move together. The same sector stocks or the different sector stocks, if we will put their covariance together, we will be able to calculate that how these two stocks move together. And variance, how far stock moves relative to its mean. When we want to calculate variance, we used to take the mean of all the available instruments, and after calculating that mean, we will see how the stock is performing relative to its mean. So by dividing covariance and variance, we can calculate the beta. If we will get the beta is equal to 1, at that time it is ideal. When beta is less than 1, it is less volatile than the market. When beta is higher than 1, it is more volatile than the market. Thank you.